facing our fears, laughing through the chaos and drinking some beers. So here's to the laughs, the crumbs and the cheers, all the awkward moments, and we're still here. Cause in the end we're just doing our thing. It's our crazy life, oh, one more thing. Oh, one more thing. Oh!
Hey, I'm Brian. Welcome to Oh, and One More Thing.
Hey, I'm Rob, and we're just two guys traveling around the world.
What? We are?
Well, yeah.
Cool. When do we leave? I couldn't do that. Could you do that?
Yeah.
I'm a homebody.
Right?
I like to be at home.
And I kind of need to plan a little bit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
No.
I'm not a spur-of-the-moment travel kind of a guy. That's tough.
That's hard.
That's hard to do. Yeah. You know, traveling is the only thing you buy that makes you poorer and richer at the same time.
That's great.
Hey, you know, Brian, we know a guy who can help us travel around the world, for that matter.
We do.
Yeah, really help us travel anywhere. So let's talk with our buddy Dave Dawson from Cruise Planners, Doing It Travel.
He can help us understand what a travel advisor does and how they can help make your trip of a lifetime.
We're going to welcome Dave Dawson from Cruise Planners to talk a little bit of travel with us. How you doing, Dave?
Hi, Dave.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm doing really good.
Good.
Great. Why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your business?
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me on for starters.
Absolutely.
This is amazing. Long-time follower, first-time guest.
Oh,
I
that's
appreciate
awesome.
that.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Hey, well, first a little bit about me. I am Dave Dawson. I own my own cruise planner business. I'm based out of the Midwest, just outside of Chicago. Yeah, so I'm a home-based business where we focus on everything vacation.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay. So,
Yep.
so in your title, it says, you know, you guys are cruise planners, but you do more than just cruisers, right? I mean, because it's in your name.
Yeah, we do more than cruising. It's one of those things where you just kind of have to fight the title, but
Sure.
we've been around for well over 40 years. So once you establish your name and your brand, you kind of just roll with it. But Cruise Planners is one of the largest franchise travel brands in the industry. We do over $1 billion as a franchise organization.
Okay.
So we stick with the name, but we do more than just cruises. I believe we are the largest all-inclusive land booking agency in the country, and we do, custom land tours or, trips all over the world.
Sure.
If you want to go to Antarctica, we can help you with that. We can, we can do basically anything.
I don't actually want to go to Antarctica, but, I'll call you if I do.
Great.
So now, Dave, tell me, how long have you been doing this?
Yeah, so we actually, and I say we because my business is also represented by my wife, Rachel. We do this together, although she is a full-time teacher, so you're probably not going to see her picking up the phone too often. She's busy, doing what she specializes in with kids, and I'm doing this all the time. But yeah, so we just started about a year ago. I've been in franchising for a long time, so it was very normal for me to kind of start my own business and get this rolling.
Sure.
We both love travel, but more importantly, I personally love helping people. And Rob, you know me for a long time.
Yeah.
It's you want to talk about a niche, that's probably how I would define myself. So this fits perfectly.
Gotcha. And, of course, I follow you on all the socials, and I've noticed the last few months, you've been in the top 10 of cruise planners. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so since I started, for me, I'm always focusing on education, learning our systems and tools. And that's a great thing about Cruise Planners is we're also well known for all of our technology and how they integrate with all of our travel partners to make us more efficient travel advisors. So I focus heavily on that and really kind of focusing in on how I can be of service to people. And, I'm kind of everywhere. My socials are really strong,
Right.
but I'm also working locally with my chamber and my professional network. And yeah, so I've since November for the last, I believe, 5 months.
Oh, wow.
I've been in the top 10 every month. And I couldn't be more excited about what the future has for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Good for you guys.
So as we're talking about this traveling, so do we really need to use a travel agent?
Yeah, so I love that you said travel agent because, well, let me first start off by saying this, is that do I believe everybody needs to use a travel advisor or agent? And simply put, no. And that's often what I try to do with my clients when I start working with someone is just make sure that we're a good fit for each other.
Okay.
Because I do have clients where, they really just need a little bit of help or a little bit of education, but they just want to do everything. And so what I find, like those types of clients, they probably should book their own stuff until they shouldn't. If it's really important, groups, things that get outside of their control or their experience, that's when they come to me. But generally speaking, a lot of my clients, they don't have the time or the energy to, build a trip that they haven't done before. So that's why they're going to use me. I do want to touch on the agent. So agents are, at least in our industry, we're trying to move away from agents to advisors because we really are, one, certified and trained beyond just booking trips for our clients. You're going to find agents when you call the big box travel,
Right.
Do I dare even say the C word?
Right.
Rob's favorite.
But, yeah. But that's what you're going to get when you call those lines. When you work with, a company like mine, you're going to get an advisor. So I'm going to be there to, one, help reduce the amount of time you spend researching because I have the knowledge or I have the network to help educate and guide you to the right fit.
Okay.
It's not all about the price, and it shouldn't be. It should be about the right fit for the experience you're looking to have.
I'm liking this. You're kind of helping me understand, you're a travel advisor, and now I get it in my head, maybe I understand how to use your services.
That's right. Yeah. So typically for me, it all starts off with a conversation. Now, not every experience is that way. Sometimes I have some of my clients, they're like, this is kind of what we want to do, put us on the right path and, let's get going.
Right.
But often a lot of my clients that I get from even my social media space, they're coming to me because they really just don't know what to do next, especially when they're traveling overseas. Mm-hmm. I find I have a lot of clients that have never done that before. And so that can be intimidating. And they need somebody who's done it or has some expertise there to help reduce that fear or stress. Because I have clients that are in their 80s and they tell me all I've ever wanted to do is take a river cruise through Europe. And like, if it's the last thing I do, that's what I want to do. But they just have never known how to navigate that space.
Sure.
And that's what I help them do. Yeah.
That's cool.
Hey, Brian, I was just outside trying to enjoy the yard, and the mosquitoes are driving me nuts.
Oh, you got to call Spring Green for that, Rob.
Spring Green? I thought they just did my fertilizer and weed control.
Oh, they do that, and our lawn looks amazing because of it. But their mosquito control is a game changer. We can actually use our patio. You know how bad the state bird gets in Minnesota.
I'm pretty sure that's the loon, but point taken. So they do lawns and mosquitoes?
And total home pest control. My house is completely mouse-free. They even do liquid aerations and lawn insect control.
Wow, I'm only using them for half of what I could be.
You should fix that. Go to spring-green.com and get a personalized quote today.
That's spring-green.com.
And tell them Owen One More Thing sent you.
Oh! So, talking about kind of the things that a travel advisor does, like what benefits does it bring?
Yeah, so I think initially most of the listeners, even to this episode, will be like, oh, I want to leverage for the best price. Everybody is always looking for the cheapest way to do it,
Absolutely.
right? And and yes, that is ultimately a benefit of using a travel advisor. My mode of action here is to say, what are we trying to achieve? Do you have flexibility in your travel schedule? And if you do, then I'm going to go shop that. I'm going to spend the time. Well, one, I'm giving you time back. So that is a savings to you. Right?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people don't take that into account, that you're doing all the legwork that I don't have to do. And it takes a lot of stress off my plate.
Yeah, if my clients knew how much time I actually spent on the phone, looking into things or even doing research, they would lose their mind. It's so much time, but that's my sole purpose. One is to take that from you, but two, it's really kind of to build out an itinerary that meets what you're looking for versus just kind of picking a package that's, off the shelf somewhere,
Right.
Right. What's cool about that is, as for me, myself, I don't necessarily always know what's the best or funnest, coolest thing to do when I'm at that destination. So, tapping into you would allow me to okay, he's going to give me some great ideas that I would have never come across on my own.
Exactly. And so it's interesting. So when I go networking, in my area, often I will be asked, what's it like to travel to this destination? Well, I haven't traveled everywhere. And that's the thing. I've traveled to a lot of places, but I can go do that research. I've got a strong network at Cruise Planners. We have over 2,500 cruise planners. So the likelihood I know someone in my network that has done that is really strong.
Yeah.
And so you are getting that backing when you work with someone like myself.
Sure.
To know hey, I'm going to go put in the due diligence to help make sure that my clients, one, are put on the right path, but I get you the right advice for this trip.
That's cool.
Right. So since you brought it up, I'm going to ask the question. I mean, do I actually save money by going through you, or does it all go to your commission? How does that work?
Yeah, well, that's you bring up two really sensitive subjects, I think. In this
I know, right? Sorry.
Well,
that's the kind of podcast we are.
But me, I mean, for and I'm all cards on the table. We're booking a cruise for our family for Christmas, and I'm going through you. I mean, you're our travel advisor, and
that's right.
And I guarantee everybody who's thought about using a travel advisor has been like, well, am I saving money? I mean, how does that work?
Well, what I can tell you right now is it's not costing you more money. So my commission is built in. So it doesn't matter whether you go to the big C word or not and buy your discounted trip through them. My commission, how I get paid, is built into that trip. The difference is you don't get the benefits of someone in your corner.
Right.
And what I will say is travel is about trust. And so wherever you're purchasing your travel, you've got to trust, one, that it's going to be done right. And when things go wrong, because the more you travel, the more outside of your home you get, the more likelihood that you are going to run into issues, whether it's flights, it's your resort, it's you pick up an illness while you're traveling. Something's going to happen. And do you trust picking up the 800 number, or do you trust picking up the phone and calling your travel advisor? That is going to pick up no matter what.
Right. So kind of speaking.
Getting back.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Getting back to your point real quick. Yeah. So what I will say is, if your sole purpose is to save money using an advisor, you're not using your advisor correctly. Is what I would say.
Gotcha.
It's much deeper than saving money. Yes. So for example, even today, I just booked some clients on a river cruise. They had some flexibility in their trip, and I was able to save them significant amount by allowing me to do that work for them. For them, they would have just picked a date and purchased.
Right. And honestly, that's how Brian and I we've done a lot of travel, and that's kind of how we do it.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, Rob likes to give me all the work to do, and I do all the research. But now, do I need travel insurance when I go on a trip of a lifetime?
So simply put, yes.
Okay.
Yes, you need travel. Yes, you need travel insurance. So I always say the general rule is, if you're leaving the country or you're getting on a cruise ship, always.
Okay.
Always.
Why?
Because there are so many things that can go wrong. One is, I don't know if most people know this or not, but your health insurance doesn't work outside of the 50 states.
What?
Okay, maybe there's 1%. I've run into a few clients where maybe they have some kind of special circumstance, but your health insurance doesn't work outside of the states. So if you're in another country and you need medical attention, sure, there are some countries that are going to provide it because they have that kind of health plan in their country. But generally speaking, if you go to Cancun and you get hurt or you get sick, they want their money today.
Right.
And so your travel insurance, one, is going to help you reimburse any of those out of pockets. Not to mention, if you get a really good plan, your travel insurance provider is going to make sure you're going to the correct facilities to get medical attention.
Okay.
Because they're not all created equal.
Right.
And
Okay.
then on top of it, you've got your preventative, you got your like pre-vacation insurance coverage. So, for example, I just had a client, he woke up with like blurry vision and he's like, what is going on? Well, he had a detached retina. And so he had to go have emergency medical attention 4 days before his cruise. Well, you can't get on a flight.
Right.
So without travel insurance, they would have been 100% out of pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
there's endless reasons on why you need travel insurance. But most importantly, when you're adding travel insurance is when you add travel insurance.
Okay. So when is that?
So you want to add it as soon as possible. If you know you're going to add travel insurance, there's no reason to wait, because let's say you were going to add it, a week before your final payment for a cruise, but your medical issue happened today.
Right.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, not covered.
Too late.
That's it's too late.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you've got to get it in the correct order. If you know you're adding it, just add it immediately.
So do you have insurance companies that you use regularly and you'd suggest to us, or is it up to us to find it?
No. When you work with me, so we work with a company called Allianz. They're one of the largest travel insurance providers in the world. They're actually a main sponsor for the Olympics. They are widely trusted travel insurance provider. We also have some additional waivers when you work with cruise planners versus if you were to, let's say, purchase directly through them.
Okay.
So our relationship, again, kind of steps up and gives you a little extra benefits. But there's a lot of great insurance providers out there. Almost every cruise line or package provider offers it to some degree. You just really want to compare your policies to make sure you're getting what you think you're getting or how much.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you're not purchasing it, let's say flights or anything through, let's say, a cruise line, sometimes they don't always cover that, or it's not money back in your pocket. It's like a future travel credit.
Right. The
And so
credit.
you just want to read. You got to read those terms and conditions.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sure.
So since we're talking about cruises, when is the best time of year to cruise?
Yeah. So I would say the best time, if we're focusing in on budget, let's say everything's created equal, you've got all the time in the world, what's called shoulder season. So like spring and fall before the busy season, you really want to kind of avoid when school gets out. Because cruising is all about supply and demand on pricing.
Yeah.
So, the more demand, the higher the price. And so if you can, get what they call shoulder season, so right in front of those or right behind those, you're going to find probably some of the best pricing and inventory available.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Which explains why my retired mother cruises a lot.
Yeah. Well, and you guys want to remember too, so I define, maybe not every travel advisor does this, but I try to define what is last minute traveling.
Yeah.
And I say anything under 6 months is last minute.
Really?
Like, you might find a last minute promotion or pricing that is really nice, but there's basically no inventory left on a cruise ship where you want to cruise. You'll be, in the bow of the ship or aft, and sometimes if you have motion sickness, that's not the best place to be.
Right.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Where is the best place on a ship to be for a room?
Yeah. So typically they say you want to be as low in the ship as you can, center of the ship as you can.
Okay.
I get center, but aren't all the more pricey rooms up higher?
Not generally speaking. No.
Okay. I'm asking because I don't know. So
yeah. And you kind of always want to know where things are on the ship too. So if you're getting a cabin underneath the pool deck or right next to the atrium where they do a lot of live music, those rooms may not be the quietest rooms either. So you really got to think about your positioning in the ship for sure.
Right. Okay.
And is that something I can ask you to do for me?
Absolutely. Well, that's what I'm automatically going to start doing. Like, I will immediately try to get you in the best location. I'll ask my clients, if they've cruised before, if they have any motion sickness, and then I'm typically always trying to find you those best places in the ship anyway.
Yeah.
And then especially if you're doing an Alaskan cruise, like you're balcony makes a difference. You want to make sure that you're able to see the shoreline, instead of looking at open water your whole trip.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Hey, Brian, have you planned your vacation yet this year?
No, we've talked about it. Maybe a cruise, but it feels like a lot to figure out. We don't even know what we want to do.
Well, just call Dave at Cruise Planners, doingittravel.com.
Isn't that just for cruises? I'm not sure if we wanted to do an all-inclusive vacation with the family, or maybe this year my wife and I should just do a river cruise. That would be cool.
No, see, that's the thing. He does everything. He helped us with our big family trip last year. He did flights, resort, travel insurance, all of it.
That's so awesome. Honestly, I just want someone I can trust. I don't have time to do all that planning between work and, of course, this podcast.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's why I call it Trust Planners instead of Cruise Planners. When you work with Dave, your vacation's basically on cruise control.
Nice. So booking with him is a sure thing.
Absolutely. And Cruise Planners partners with every major brand. Cruise lines, all-inclusive, Disney, and so much more. You're in really good hands.
Sounds like he really anchors your whole trip.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, that was fun.
All right, no, seriously, give him a call already. 630-733-2102 or go to doingittravel.com. Don't just dream it, do it. Dave at Cruise Planners just makes it easy.
That number again is 630-733-2102 or go to doingittravel.com. Again, doingittravel.com for all your vacation needs. And tell them Oh and One More Thing sent you. So we talked a lot about cruising, but what about some other basic travel tips that you'd maybe recommend?
So some basic travel tips would be is don't overpack when you are, going on a trip. You really I think a lot of people just put everything they can in their suitcases, but the reality is you don't really need it, especially if it's on a beach vacation. You're most likely going to be in a swimsuit most of your trip.
This is what I try to tell my wife every time we go somewhere. You don't need to pack those 5 pairs of shoes.
Okay, back up. When you say don't overpack, are you talking to us, the guys, or the wives? Because that's a whole different bottle of wine.
He's being general about anybody.
I think my wife will be listening to this. I'm not going to say it. I plead the fifth.
Right.
Yeah. But when it comes to packing, though, you do really want to look at the weather and make sure that you are packing appropriate attire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Footwear is critical. If you're going to Europe, you're going to be doing a lot of walking on uneven ground, cobblestone streets, probably not great to be wearing Old Navy thong sandals.
Right.
So you want to have appropriate footwear. There's no doubt about it. I always say too, I get it. Your teenage kids are responsible, but not that responsible.
No,
so they should not carry their own passports.
Right.
One adult should carry the passports, pass them out,
Right.
and then get them back.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get you a really bad trip. But always keep a digital backup of your passport. Now, it's not going to that's not going to permanently save you if you do lose your passport, but the fact that you can have a digital copy of it. So I always ask my clients to upload a copy of their passport to their file.
Yeah.
So when you're traveling, you can just pull out your phone and log into your account and you have it.
Yep.
I think it's probably 50-50 on this, but when you're in Europe, I always suggest just go ahead and pay in the current currency of that country and let your bank do the conversion.
Okay.
It's probably going to save you. Yeah, probably save you a little bit. Not a ton, but every little bit here and there helps.
And honestly, I think that's a great tip because I know that one of the credit cards I use, my Amex, they do not charge you a conversion fee, whereas another card that I have, a Visa card, they do charge you a conversion fee. So that's good to research that as well if you're going overseas.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I kind of said this, but don't wait last minute. I know this sometimes you don't know your schedule, but the further out, right now we're booking 2028 trips.
Holy cow.
Wow.
So what I would say is if you can plan ahead, you're going to get the best pricing, the best room selection, regardless if it's a resort or, a cruise, not to mention seats on an airline. You're just going to be prepared for your trip. It's not going to feel rushed. And I'd also say if you're traveling in a group, you probably need to have established some group rules.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is if you're not used to traveling with other people, well, you're going to see sides of your friends and family that you may not see all the time. And so maybe they need to go sit the next play out and give them permission to do that because they're getting a little cranky or, maybe had a little bit too much to drink that night. So I always like to help my clients establish some ground rules with their group and just give each other permission and a lot of grace.
Gotcha.
That's awesome. So I was just going to say, we have a friend of ours that just recently came back from Italy, and he didn't book his hotel till a week before he left. Right. And it was stressing me out.
Oh, man. It's stressing me out.
Right?
I mean, I get it. It can be done, but why?
Yeah.
Right.
Seriously.
I mean, and that was his theory. He's like, if we can't find a room, we'll just backpack or we'll stay wherever. We don't care. I'm like, oh my God, dude, there's no way.
So I just want to say,
you want
Jeff,
to know who
take
needs
note.
an advisor? Yeah, I'll be his advisor. Just give me his contact.
Right.
All right, we'll do that. Okay, so what are the most popular places maybe to visit outside of the United States?
Yeah, so typically when somebody doesn't know or the highest demand, it's the 3 I's. So you've got Italy, Ireland, and Iceland. They all give you a different look, but those are always, year after year, the 3 most popular destinations to travel to.
Oh, I love all 3 of those.
That's why.
Yeah. So if you don't know where to go, those typically and always end up on everybody's short list because they give you a different look outside of the States.
Right.
What about, I think I saw you did a post a few weeks ago. What are some great places within the U.S. to go to?
Well, right now, with everything kind of going on in the world, which fingers crossed, I hope things calm down for everybody's sake.
Yes, we all do.
But yeah, I think looking inside of the States, Alaska is incredibly popular. If you've never been to Alaska, it's absolutely beautiful. You can do a cruise, or you can do what's called a land tour, and just do that, or you can do a cruise tour where you take a cruise and then you actually do the land portion and go up to Denali and check that out. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But what a lot of my clients are actually asking for is train travel right now. It's kind of like caught me way off guard. Yeah, because I was like, oh man, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because a lot of my clients, or at least they have interest in staying in the States, and they've done Florida, they've done all the popular places, Vegas and Colorado, but they're like, how can we explore the States differently? And trains are really a great untapped way to do it. Now, yes, does it take longer? Can you just fly somewhere and see it? Yeah, but that's not the purpose.
Right.
It is about slowing down.
Yeah.
You can get a sleeper car, you can get internets, and they do serve food on these things.
Right.
So you can
and you're seeing the countrriside. That's kind of the purpose of the train ride, is to see something completely new.
Absolutely. And really, believe it or not, you can almost do the entire country in a train if you wanted to.
Oh.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
All right. That's definitely on our list for sure.
That's cool.
All right. So what do you think are some common travel mistakes that we could avoid?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I've already said it before, but you don't plan your trips last minute. It's just rushing it's just not good for anybody.
Right.
But what I will say is, have some grace in your trip. It's not, things are gonna go wrong eventually.
Yeah.
So you kind of just gotta, be prepared for those issues and kind of roll with the punches. I think a lot of people pack too much into their trips too. And then once that first issue happens, it kind of, it starts to affect. It's like, how long is it going to take to get caught up to your itinerary that was built out?
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I do follow you on the socials, and you had quite the fiasco coming home from a few weeks ago. Was it Amsterdam you were at?
Yeah, I was in Amsterdam. I was at the River Cruise Expo there, and everything. It was probably one of the best trips I've ever had. I was a literal adrenaline rush. I was on a high. And then my flight home from Amsterdam, this all started with a simple mechanical issue in Amsterdam that delayed us by an hour.
Okay.
Well, by the time we got to the States, we flew over Lake Michigan for a little over an hour.
Ugh.
And they said, hey, we're going to run out of fuel. So we need to go somewhere.
Wow.
And they sent us to Detroit. And Detroit isn't accustomed to taking a plane of our size by our brand that I was on. And so it was the trickle effect of originally we were just going to fuel up, get back on the runway and head over to Chicago and, fly the lake some more. That changed. Our crew was in overtime, so they discontinued them. That meant that we had to get off the plane.
Oh,
they
wow.
didn't have a key to unlock the bottom of the plane to get our luggage off. So we got stuck. We got stuck between passport control and customs for 6 hours without food and water.
No.
Oh no.
Yes, because it was 6 o'clock at night, so everything was kind of winding down around that. But 6 hours later, it's midnight. No one is working, and they don't have the tool to unlock our plane. So we were literally just waiting there. I will say it was the most chill travel crew, a bunch of randos that I've ever traveled with. Not one person got upset, and it just proves that if you just stay calm,
Right.
you can get through it. But if we had just one person that broke the line of calmness, it would have just been pure chaos. Yeah, it would have been pure chaos.
I mean, and what do you do? I mean, you have no control over the situation. I mean, getting upset doesn't do anybody any good anyway. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, what I would suggest in that scenario is reach out to your travel advisor and let them know what's going on. Because if I was my own travel advisor.
I was going to say, who did you reach out
to?
When we hit the ground, I immediately booked a hotel room. I knew what was happening. I pre-bought a train ticket just in case that we were never getting back on that plane again, which was close. So I was already building backup plans so that I could continue to make progress and instead of being stuck.
Right.
And that's what I would say.
Yeah,
call your travel advisor.
That's really cool because, if it happens to someone like me, to call you right away and you'll help get other plans in motion versus me sitting at the airport. What do I do? That's amazing advice right there.
Yeah, so I had some clients that just got back from a Mediterranean cruise, and everything was perfect until they got to Atlanta. The flight just canceled. Just canceled out of the blue. And so it was 10:30 at night. I literally just put my head on the pillow to go to sleep and the phone rings.
Oh no.
And I'm like, let's go.
Right.
We're going to get this thing fixed.
Yep.
And so while they were working with the airline at the counter, I was researching flights to get them on in the background because we all had a strong feeling no one was leaving that airport that night. And so we were able to kind of work together so that they didn't have to work on everything. I was able to work on what they couldn't, and then they had to work on what they had to while they were there.
Right.
So we got them home. Yep.
That's cool.
That's cool, man. All right.
So even though the best organized itinerary doesn't help in those situations.
It was out of their control. And that's the thing. I think some advice, never fly in the day of your cruise. Always go in a day early. And what I say is it's not because of weather often. It can be.
Sure.
But today, I mean, mechanical issues on the regular, but just people kind of, having mental slips on planes, divert you back to where you came from. And the next thing you know, you're missing your cruise.
Right.
So, it's just not worth taking the chances.
And they're not waiting for you.
Right.
No.
Nope.
All
right. Well, awesome. Well, Dave, that was fantastic. Do you have anything else you want to add really quick before we wrap this up?
Yeah. Hey, if you're interested in future travel, I'd love to help anybody. Check me out at doingittravel.com, and we'll take you from dreaming it to doing it.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Dave, I'm on your socials right now, and I'm going to hit add.
Yes, let's go.
Love it. All right. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Dave.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
That was a great combo, Dave. Thanks for hanging with us, buddy. As you heard, go to doingittravel.com to book your cruise or any kind of travel.
He is ready to help you. And again, that's doingittravel.com. And when you talk to Dave, tell him that you heard it here first on Oh, and One More Thing.
That would be great. And since we're talking about travel, we'll be taking a few weeks off for our summer break. Maybe we'll do some traveling.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, who knows? Hey, but make sure to follow us on the socials at Oh and One More Thing Pod on Facebook and Instagram for highlights and news of our upcoming shows and our glorious return with all new episodes in late July.
And if you have any show ideas for us or just want to give us some feedback, send us an email at ohandonemorethingpod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you.
Plus, we do have merchandise, t-shirts, caps. If you're interested, shoot us an email.
Oh, and one more thing. For your next travel adventure, consider working with Dave Dawson, travel advisor at doingittravel.com. With a strong focus on personalized planning, attention to detail, and seamless coordination, Dave helps turn complex travel ideas into smooth, memorable experiences. Whether you're planning a relaxing getaway or a multi-stop journey, his experience can make the entire process easier and far more enjoyable.
And he's a heck of a nice guy to boot. Bye, everyone.
Bye!
I can't wait for that endless buffet on the cruise.